Seriously? The Butcher of Obsteria, the Bane of Irok, and the Scourge of Sanctus Reach. These are just a few of the titles bestowed upon the one said to be blessed by Grukk himself. This is the story of Grukk Face-Rippa, as told by me, 6+ Stevo. Our story begins on the desert planet of Irok, a world at constant war between two tribes of orcs. On the one side, the Split Grin tribe of Bad Moons. On the other, the Skullcracker Goth tribe, led by Grukk the Tyrant. Grukk was a fearsome warboss who demanded respect and was feared by all. He ruled his tribe with an iron fist and quickly put down any who dared oppose him. However, there was another within his tribe that was gaining respect and notoriety in equal measure. Grukk was a fearsome warrior, absolutely brutal in combat, and was very quickly gaining the favour of the orcs within the tribe. Now usually any self-respecting warboss would have quickly put a stop to this, seeing a warrior of such stature as a threat to his own leadership. However, Grukk saw the usefulness in Grukk's combat capabilities, and Grukk himself, for the most part, showed no signs of ambition. Content with his lot in life, happy in the fact that there was constant war and battles to be had. This, however, all changed when Grukk met a big mech by the name of Mogrok. Mogrok saw great potential within Grukk, and quickly convinced the warrior that he, not Grukk, should be leader of the Skullcracker tribe. There were far greater battles to be had out amongst the stars, far more glorious than these petty squabbles they had been fighting on this desert wasteland. Grukk did not need much convincing. His already inflated ego was fed further by this big mech who had awoken a spark of ambition within him. Grukk stormed back to his tribe's camp, marched into Grukk's lair, and challenged the warboss to a duel. Grukk was enraged. He launched himself at the challenger, and the two warriors fought a vicious, brutal combat. Grukk, the slightly larger of the two, gained the upper hand and beat Grukk down with vicious blow after blow. Grukk's battered, broken body hit the ground, and Grukk stood over him, about to land the killing blow. His custom saw-driven power claw whirred to life, and as he flung his claw down, Grukk leapt up at the last second, grabbing Grukk by the arm and forcing the saw back towards Grukk's own face. The warboss looked on helplessly as his arm splintered and broke, and the saw plunged into his own face. Green meat and blood flew everywhere, and Grukk roared in victory. He was now the undisputed warboss of the Skullcracker tribe, and from this moment on, known as Grukk Face-Rippa. Having taken leadership of the Skullcracker tribe, Grukk then did something that Grukk never could. With the support of Mogrok, he decimated the opposing tribe of Split Grins, very quickly killing their warboss and absorbing their tribe into his own. Now, with full control of the planet, Grukk could lead his war into the stars. And boy, what a war it was. Grukk's ever-growing war spilled out into the stars and consumed the entirety of the Sanctus Reach subsector. Even the world of Obsteria, home to the Obsidian Glaive Space Marine chapter, was not safe. Defended by no less than 5 full companies of Marines, was consumed by the rampaging horde. With Obsteria crushed and the Sanctus Reach aflame, billions of orcs flock to Grukk's war, and it shows no sign of slowing. God help any who get in his way. Well guys, that's the story so far on Grukk Face-Rippa. I hope you enjoyed that. I've never really done a sort of lore type video like that before, but I wanted to give it a go. Hopefully I did okay. Excuse my voice as well. I have got a stinking case of man flu at the moment, which hasn't helped, but hopefully I did him justice. Anyway, the title of this video is what happened to Grukk. Well, Grukk Face-Rippa was released in a boxed game going back to, I think, about 2014, I think it was released. The box set Stormclaw. It was a cool set of Orcs versus Space Wolves, I think it was, and that was when Grukk was first released as a model. It was the only place you could get him. He came with special rules and a campaign book and everything, and he was a cool character, as you just heard from that story. He's yeah, really cool character. I like him quite a lot, and he was a little bit special. His rules were basically a slightly beefed up Warboss. I think he came, his custom power claw with the saw had like some sort of slightly better rules than your standard power claw. But basically, yeah, he was just a sort of a beefed up standard Warboss. But what's happened to him since then? Well, basically nothing. The set came out around the same time as the 7th edition Codex, but although Grukk is mentioned in there quite heavily, he doesn't actually appear in the Codex as a usable character. I think basically the idea was that you would just use him as a standard Warboss and just, you know, use that bit of flavour for him. But it seems a bit of a shame to me that they never sort of followed this through. Because he's a cool character. But I think the reason they did that was because the old Warboss models, being the old metal ones, were the only ones you could really buy. And other than the Warboss model from like the Black Reach set, they hadn't got anything out more current. So decided to keep him around as merely a Warboss model. You can buy him now in a set. He comes with 5 knobs. You can't buy him on his own unless you go through eBay and stuff. And yeah, currently his models is still around. He hasn't gone anywhere, but they just haven't done anything further with him. They had the rules back in 7th edition in that set, and that's it. And that's a real shame in my opinion, because he was a cool character, and he was an alternative to Ghazghkull. Because I think you need a variety of characters, and some of the sort of lesser known characters and new characters like Grukk were really cool to see. Because currently with Orcs, just like with several other armies, we're sort of falling into this trap of having sort of one dominant character that is just the one that everyone goes for. You do have alternatives like Bad Ruck and some others, but I think most Orc armies, most Orc players have Ghazghkull in their collection, and he is like the big bad. But it gets a bit samey. If you're fighting against several different Orc players, nearly all of them are going to be using Ghazghkull. So it's nice to have a bit of variety and some different options for different war bosses and different characters with a bit of flavour to them. And Grukk was cool. He was a cool character, and it's a shame they didn't continue him further. I mean, I would like to think they would bring him back as a playable character in the 8th edition Codex, but I can't see it happening, to be honest. I think he's probably just going to be relegated to the annals of history, and just the model will continue. Model's on screen now, as you can see. It's a really cool model, especially with his squig there. That's a vicious looking attack squig, and the power claw is cool with the sort of saw attachment on it. But I think that model will just continue, but will just continue as your standard Warboss, which to me is a real shame, because they made a cool character there and then did nothing with him. So it's a shame, really. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you liked that little bit of lore and history of Grukk. Let me know what your thoughts are on him, on the model, the character, whether you'd like to see him back in 8th, or whether you think that model is fine to be used as just a standard Warboss. But I think we do need more characters, more than just Ghazghkull. If we just have Ghazghkull dominating all the time, yeah, he is the big bad and he should be the big bad, but we need some alternatives and some other options so people can mix up their armies and take their army in a different direction perhaps and be led by someone else. But anyway, guys, share your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for watching. This is 6 Plus Stevo, signing out.